I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough for you.
I should've known it was too good to be true. Thinking anything real will come out of someone like you. I'm a fool. I guess the prettiest girls use idiots like me. 힘들어 심장이 고장나 어린 듯이 멈췄어 내 마음 때린 거는 I'm so lost. Thought it was LOVE. Why was I too blind to see that you were just using me? And it's more than I can say. 그게 잘 안 돼. 널 정리하는 게 I should've known spoiled girls like you just want a toy to break. So you can take what you want, don't break my heart if you want. Till I got nothing to lose, till I got nothing to give. Yeah, you can take what you want, hate me and leave me to try. Cause girls like you just toss away your shit just like I'm so worn out shoes. Like I'm that shirt you don't wear anymore. Just like I was one time used. Not something new. Why would girls like you want? Why would you want used goods? You get anything you want till you find somebody else that's unused. Thought it was LOVE. 눈치도 못했지, you're bad for me. More than I can say. 그게 잘 안 돼. 널 정리하는 게 I should've known spoiled girls like you just want a toy to break. Just want a toy to break. So you can take what you want, go break my heart if you want. Till I got nothing to lose, till I got
Whoa. Friday. It is Friday. Welcome everybody to Friday stream Beyond the Doll. Let me see. We're going to switch over. Hello everybody. Welcome to episode 34 of Beyond the Doll. As always, I am your host, Shizu-san. And my beautiful assistant with me today is the very lovely Asuna Yuki. So, today's episode will be, I don't know if the right word is to say recap or more so foreshadowing or rather just looking forward to. Today we're going to talk about the things to look forward to in 2024. What can we hope to see? What do we want to see? Also, I'll be sharing my schedule for 2024. Hopefully I can meet some of you during this scheduled run. One of the things about being a parent is that your kids get sick all the time. So guess what? I'm sick again. It never ends. I swear to God, it never ends for me. It's upsetting and rather annoying. But, you know, your young ones, you know, they don't know any better because they're young. They're little kids. They don't know better. They come back from school. They don't feel good. Daddy, give me a hug. And they cough right into your mouth. Like as you're talking to them. How was your day? Like right into your mouth. And then it's like, well, now I'm sick. I can't catch a break. I swear to God, people. So if I'm talking a little weird, it's because my nose is a little runny. I got some cough drops in me. I got some nighttime NyQuil, which hopefully doesn't put me to sleep during the stream, or else you guys are just going to watch me sleep like the whole night if I fall asleep. But yeah, so let's see who's here. PMB Sakura, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Christina Kowald, happy Friday. Hope you're well. You know, I'm not that sick yet. I think it's the very beginning stages, so I don't really feel it that much. Tempest, welcome, Tempest. Cats over kids in my kids, yeah, they get you sick. This is how they are. So, yeah, well, welcome everybody to today's stream. And what I want to start with, sorry, like, I almost like choked on a cough drop. What I want to start with in today's episode is things that I hope to see or things that I want to see in 2024. Like, things I'm excited for, I can't wait, and I'm going to have to wait either way you look at it, but we're going to go over those things first, and then I'm going to go over my schedule. Today's episode might be short, depends, because I think this year there's not really much to discuss, like what I'm looking forward to, and that's only because we've only been giving like little morsels or little ounces of what's to come this year, but we'll see how it goes. I'm also probably going to travel less this year, and I'll go into that when we get to like my schedule for 2024. But let's start. So let me see, where is it? I'm going to open up my window for things I look forward to. Hold on one second. I forgot to set it up. That's my bad. Okay. So, here's the first thing that we all know about already. Anya Forger. So, her pre-orders came up. They went. They're gone. They came up a second time. They went. They're gone. So, Chimiko Body, I think, is one of the best things to look forward to from Volks. One of the best things to look forward to from Volks in 2024. I mean, we're all excited. It's a new body style, or new body size, rather. It's a beloved character in the anime sphere, manga sphere, any kind of sphere that likes cute little girls like this. I'm super excited of the potential of what people are going to do with the Anya. Maybe make boys, maybe keep them as girls, bunch of customizations. I'm just excited. Now, we've talked about this to death already, a whole bunch, multiple times in 2023. But the reason I bring up Anya Forager, the reason why I bring her up is because the thing I'm looking forward to that will probably not happen. I'm 100% guaranteeing it's not going to happen. However, I will be pleasantly surprised, super surprised, and super gung-ho if it does happen. Yep. This is what I'm hoping for. I know it's a long shot. I know it's a super, super long shot. Because rarely does Volks ever release boys. To be fair, they've been pretty... I shouldn't say frequent, but they've been more so frequent in the past couple of years than they had been in, let's say, the early 2000s. That being said, we could use one to complete the family, and who better than Lloyd Forger? I mean, come on, people. I know it's a big ask, but should it be? I feel like it's a no-brainer for Volks. I feel like it would be a no-brainer if they were to create Lloyd Forger, because you would have the whole set. You know what I mean? You'd have Lloyd, you'd have Anya, and you'd have the mom Yor. I think that is a happy outcome, because not only will collectors get the full set and be able to own the full set, or even if they don't get it off the bat, I mean, the aftermarket is still there. Yes, there are scalpers. Yes, it's going to be ridiculously hard to collect the whole family, just as much as it's ridiculously hard right now to collect all the Sailor Scouts that were officially released. So, yes, it will be hard. But for those of you that are super determined to get them on release, you have an opportunity to get the whole family. Will Volks do it? Honestly, probably not. But would it be in their best interest and the community's best interest for them to do it? Yes, because you get the whole set. Like I said, you get the whole set. You have the whole family. How awesome would it be to have that collection sitting in Akihabara Dopa or Osaka Dopa or, Sapporo Dopa, just to have them on display, the whole loving family? It'd be awesome. And for the community, it would give something that people have been wanting for a long time, a boy doll. Now, we've had boy dolls. We've had Kirito. We've had Kaito. We've had 9S. We're having another one, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in today's episode. But to have Lloyd Forger would be amazing, because what he brings to the table is something different than those other characters have. And what does Kirito have in common with 9S? What do they have in common with, well, maybe not too much in common, but with Kaito? Most of them are your typical young, boyish looking dolls. What Lloyd would bring is something that is different, something refreshing, just like Chimiko is different and refreshing to the vinyl scene. It would bring their version of Dolphy Dream Dynamite male body. Right? You would have a more mature body. Let's say it's slightly taller than a DD, right? And it would be a unique facial sculpt to Lloyd, because it would give him more, I don't want to say chiseled look, but more of a squared off kind of look, rather than most of the young, boy faces that we get from Volks, which is very rounded, very anime shape. And it's not to say Lloyd Forger isn't anime shape. It's just, he's got a more edginess to him to make him look a little bit older, and I think that is something that a lot of collectors or customizers would want from Volks, for, like I said, not just for the collection side of it, but also for the customization side of it. It'll unlock a new facial sculpt. It'll unlock a new body. It'll unlock something that they could do for Dolphy Dream Choice for people to make more mature male dolls. I think it's a win-win, but would Volks do it? Probably not ever. Probably not ever. Let's say 80% chance, sure, they would never do it. But the small 20% chance, right? If they were to do it in that small 20% chance that I'm giving them, it probably, and more than likely, not be this year in 2024. If this were to happen, it would probably be a year or 2 years from now, if anything. Who knows? But I think this is a grand opportunity that they can make, for the collection, for the lore wise, for the community. I think it's just a win-win, no matter how many columns you have, how many columns you make to compare pros and cons for this release. it's just winning numbers all around. And it would keep Volks in line with the community in the sense that how should I phrase this? Smart Doll has boy characters. Smart Doll is working on more muscular boy characters or athletic boy characters. Like I've always been saying, the boy band, the BTS body types. I think that with Volks not releasing too many boys, that this would kind of keep them up to par with competitors. Now, also you have things like A-Zone. They don't normally make boys, but you can custom make one doing an Obitsu body. And then it would also keep them in line with like resin dolls, as many collectors in the community that collect resin and vinyl dolls at the same time. Resin has had many male dolls over the years from many different companies of many different builds and skin tones. So I think that releasing this would be a good move for Volks. I honestly can't think of any downsides to them doing it. I really don't. I think it's a win-win all around, all across the board. What do you guys think? Because I think that this would be something to look forward to, if not in 2024, sometime in the future. This would be amazing. Before I move on, David Kames, welcome to the stream. My A-Zone specialist, David, I rely on you. Tempest, I want a basic doll, please. Please clarify. What do you mean basic exactly? Like, you're talking like the standard dolls, like how they have like Mirai and like, Candy and things like that. Then yes, I agree. And I think that they are going to do it for Chimiko. It just hasn't been released yet. I'm pretty sure they are going to do it. Yoshi Plays, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday, Yoshi Plays. Lummy Lum, welcome to the stream. Tav says, hear me out. Make Lloyd body more adult, then have body for Cloud Strife. Jinx. Yeah, how did I know, Tempest, you were going to mention Cloud somewhere in there? I feel like I knew somehow Cloud was going to make an appearance. Christina, it's very rare to do an older guy. They mostly teenagers and younger boys. That's true. It is true. And that's why I feel like that this would be a great opportunity to breach a barrier that has rarely been breached. And honestly needs to be breached, we have, aside, because we're going to go bouncing back and forth with this topic, because the most direct competitor right now, at least at the moment, between Volks is Smart Doll. And Smart Doll is breaking boundaries by doing their whole diversity and inclusivity and doing the pear-shaped dolls. Now they're trying to do a muscular male doll. They're trying to do a Cortex 2. They're trying to do a muscular female or athletic female doll. So it's like, does Volks need to compete with them? Probably not. I mean, they make a lot of money all on their own. They have their own particular market. And a lot of us here in the doll community collect both. We do Smart Doll and Volks. So do they need it from a financial standpoint? No, I don't think so. But would it be nice for the community? Would it open the doors for them to do other things? I think so. But again, like I said, this will probably never, ever happen. But and I've said it when they released Yor. Wouldn't it be great if we can have Anya and Lloyd? But I said Anya wouldn't work because they don't have a body type smaller to do Anya. And then what happened? We got Chimiko. But now I feel like even more. They released Yor. They made Chimiko for Anya to come out. I don't know if it's specifically so they can do Anya, but they already went that extra step. Just take the final leap. You took the first step, which was easy. You did Yor. Yor's easy for them to do. They already have the body. They just need to do what they always do. Have someone custom make the outfit. Hire somebody to do the face up. Get the rights. Blah, blah, blah. But they went that extra step to get Anya. Could they have done Anya in a mini Dolphy Dream and just said, to hell with it. We have the rights. We're going to release Anya. Who cares if it's not the right body type? They could have done that, and that would have been the easier route. And I feel like still the community would have bought her anyways. But they went that extra step. They made the Chimiko. Like, they took that leap. All you need is one more leap. One small leap for mankind or dollkind. One giant leap for the community. Like, Volks, this is an amazing opportunity. I think they should do it. I really do. Lummy Lum says, so basically they need to make men bodies as well as boys. Yes, but I don't think it would be. Now, obviously, I'm not a creator. I don't know how long it takes to make these things, make, molds, do the vinyl prep. I don't know. I don't know any of that. But if you can make different size vinyls and shapes for the dolls in female bodies, why can't they do it for male? I know it's more work. I understand it's more work. I understand it's more molds, probably another section or a whole new factory. Who knows? But the opportunity to release something like this, to open doors for even other characters to be released, like, I don't know, who's an older guy that you could release? Like Jet from Cowboy Bebop, you could release. Who else is a little bit more mature-ish? You could release like I can't even remember his name, the Jujutsu Kaisen guy. He's more of a rugged built kind of dude that wouldn't really fit the BTS body kind of thing. Like, there are many characters that you can open up the doors to if you do like a much more, and realistically, how much more different would it be? You would have like a essentially, because they don't make many differences, right, between the male bodies and the girl bodies. So if you were to buy a DDS sister, right, and then you wanted a DDS boy, it's the same damn body. It's just the bust is a male bust. That's really all they changed. It's not like they made the arms or the legs any thicker or muscular. It's the same body. So even if they wanted to go the lazy route and give it the Dolphy Dream, well, they can't give it the Dynamite body because it would be way too curvy. But if you gave it like a regular Dolphy Dream body, right, and just gave it a more chiseled bust and torso, you don't have to even change the legs. It would look a little awkward if they were standing naked, yes, but if they really wanted to do it and just be lazy about it, they could, and I would still buy it up. That's just me. I don't know if the rest of you would, but I still would, because it would complete the set, and the face would be the most important part because they're gonna be clothed. So for me, if I had a Lloyd, he would be in his suit. He would never not be in his suit, really. Or he'd be in his house kitchen attire. You know what I mean? And the main point would be the face anyways. So what prevents them to not do it anyways? Well, people will just make custom faces and put it on a girl body with a flat bust. That's what they could do. But folks could do it if they wanted to, is my point. Do they really want to? I don't know. Would the original IP for Spy Family, are they in talks and saying, we would like you to release the whole family? Is it doable? You never know, because even though it's a call for folks to make, it's also a call for the IP. What if the original IP holders said, Volk came to them and said, hey, we want to make a Your Forger doll. Can we buy licensing from your company in order to make Your Forger? What if the original IP said, sure, only if you make the whole family? Because they can do that. It's their intellectual property. It's their IP. They can set whatever terms they want to set. And let's just say, for the sake of example, they set that term. We're not privy to that, because that's all done backside. That's in the business end of it. We don't see that as fans unless somebody like WikiLeaks it or something. But what if they made that deal? And all this time we're theory crafting or trying to figure out, oh, will Lloyd ever come? What if this whole time they are already trying to do it? Because that could have been a term of the licensing agreement. It's possible. They could have said, we want you to do the whole family, but we don't like Mini Dolphy Dream for Anya. Can you make a new body? And then bam, we have Chimiko. It's possible. It's not out of the realm, is all I'm saying. It's not out of the realm. So am I looking forward to Lloyd? Yes. Will it happen this year? Probably not. Would it be an amazing surprise if it did? Absolutely. Would he be super rare and a lottery? Yes. He would be a click war / lottery. I think if they did release him, it's not going to be a pre-order. I really don't believe so. If it will be a pre-order, even better. Even better. Christina Kowalt says, it's my birthday today and I get my favorite show on. Oh, happy birthday, Christina. Happy birthday to you. So Tempest says, everybody, Girl Scout cookies are out in the USA. Prepare your wallets and stomachs. I already got hit by the Girl Scout bug at my office. all my female coworkers, because it's always the moms. They came around with their Girl Scout cookies. So yeah, I already bit the bullet. Back to man body, then make Grahatia. Listen, that's possible. That is possible. But Grahatia doesn't need the older man kind of body or the more adult mature body. He could already be made with the existing bodies that they use for boys. Lummy Lump says Goku. That would be interesting, but I think Goku is too muscly. I don't think Volks will ever do something like that, like way too many muscles. I don't think they're gonna go that route. Like slender, athletic build Lloyd, probably. Krista says, I'm going to walk on hot coals to get Danny to purple what? Purple what? I can't read it because there's like there's a stupid button in the way, and I can't read what that says. Purple something. Purple male body probably is what you're saying there. It'll when somebody types more stuff, it'll probably come up. Oh, purple macho body. Yes. Actually, I'm going to talk about that in today's episode. Oh, hold on. Chair's falling. Okay. I spent a really long time on Lloyd Forger, but that's what I'm looking for. That's what one of my things I want to happen in 2024, even though it may not. Next up, I said this before in the Doll Symposium, and I'll say it again. It looks like Final Fantasy has more characters coming out from Volks. We have Alize and Alphino from Final Fantasy XIV. If you're not a 14 player, these two characters are very pivotal to the story. You're going to see them from the beginning up until now and probably more into the future. Now, some other characters that are beloved have dropped off or gone on hiatus or whatever. They didn't choose those characters, which rightfully so. Even though I like those characters, because they're not relevant in the story right now, it wouldn't make sense for Volks to release those characters. We already had Y'shtola, who's pretty much the #1 fan favorite. Now we have Alphino and Alize. I know Tempest wants Grahatia, and I know a whole bunch of people out there want Grahatia. What other characters could they release? I don't know. If you wanted to do a mature dad body, which you could do because you would make Lloyd Forger, right? You could, in fact, have Dad Cred or Thank Cred, otherwise known as Dad Cred. We could have Dad Cred. As long as Square Enix and Volks still have a license to work together, Dad Cred would be another avenue opened for Volks to release a male, more adult, mature body. Could have Dad Cred. That would be great. Would there be any other characters I'd like to see? Probably Reen, but Reen is not really relevant to the story currently as of right now. She's still there. She's just not super relevant. There's the other girl. I forgot her name already. The gothic chick, they could do her. They could even do like the Knights lady from Ishgard. I forgot her name as well. The Garlean. They could do her as well, although she's not super popular. She could do the leader of Gridania. What's her name? I can't remember her name anymore. I took a break from FF14, if you can't tell. But they could do her. There's a lot of characters that you could pick from. Final Fantasy XIV is just super popular right now. It's in a lull period as it's between expansions, but it'll probably pick up when Dawn Trailer comes out. But I am looking forward to these two. I mentioned it before on the Doll Symposium that the ears will more than likely not be removable. They will be permanent ears. However, Volks might make it where you can remove them. But I highly doubt it because Square Enix will probably say they don't want that option to be available, as that would be detrimental to the core value of the character, I guess you could say. Square Enix is very particular about their products. They don't like their products being misused for whatever reason. Customizers will always do whatever they want once they buy the doll, of course, but the least options that they could give available to you, they'll probably take that route. So I'm assuming that the ears are not removable for these elves. But I am looking forward to it. I don't want to buy Alphino, but I probably will, just because it's good to have the set. And as a collector, I feel like I need it, even though I really don't. These are luxury items. I don't need any of these. But it's like, if I buy Alize, even though I hate Alphino with a passion, they're twins. You kind of want to keep them together. Ystola's ears came off. Technically, Ystola doesn't have ears. Like if you look at the doll itself, she actually doesn't have ears at all. It's just her ears that are magnetic that you put on top for her ears, and that's because there probably is no way to make that permanent on the top part of the head because the cap has to come off, and the cap is much more malleable. It's squishier. It's not like hard like the actual face or the face up is. So yeah, I don't think that because these are traditionally where ears are, I don't think that those ears are going to be removable. But hey, if they are, even better because it just leaves it open for people to do whatever they want with these characters. And the semi-real eyes, as I'm going to coin them now because Danny Chu already introduced the term, the semi-real eyes on these characters are great, just like they were on Ishtola, just like they were on 2B and 9S. They look very fitting for these video game characters. So we have no information whatsoever on them. We don't know if they're a pre-order project. We don't know if they're a click war. We don't know when they're going to be released. It's not even announced on the Square Enix website anywhere. The only place that you can find this is pictures floating around YouTube. It was announced during FanFest, very briefly, I believe, and it was, but not like Ishtola. Like Ishtola had a whole 20-minute block during FanFest when they did the live letter. If I'm not mistaken, these two weren't given the same treatment. So we'll have to wait for more information. I'm hoping that the pre-order or click war will start in 2024, and then we probably will get the characters in 2025. That's my theory for them. But they look really cool. And you have Red Mage, you have Sage, two very cool job classes, although I'm more akin to Sage. I don't like the way Red Mage plays. But there's a lot of Red Mage players out there, and Red Mage has probably the best utility in game, especially for Prog, if you're one of those type of people. But if you just like playing for fun, and Red Mage could be a fun class. It doesn't jive with me, because even though it has double cast, I don't like the way that you do a cast bar, cast, hit another button, and it does instant cast, and then you have to wait the global cooldown to go down before you cast something else. I just think it to me, it feels disjointed. And I know not many people are going to agree with me in that, and that's fine, because playstyle is subjective. So for me, I just like it when it's like cast, like continuous. I mean, obviously you'll get interrupted from time to time because you have to run or move, but it's still like a continuous cast rather than having to wait a cooldown bar. But again, that's just the way it is. David Kane says, I tried to buy Fryren from Volks, Japan, but the store kept crashing until she was sold out. Yeah, that's a problem with Click Wars from the international website, especially for us US buyers, because obviously the closer you are to the original IP address, the better your lag is going to be, or the better your connection is going to be. And if you're further away from Japan, obviously you're going to have really bad lag. You can bypass these things by getting a VPN if you wanted to, but even then, it's still not like foolproof. So yeah, that's unfortunate, David. I'm sorry you didn't get to get her, but maybe in the secondhand market you'll find her for a relatively reasonable price, so you can still get your hands on her. But I think Freeren, it has elf ears, right? Is that the one that you're referring to, Tempest, that can come off? Maybe Freeren's elf ears can come off? I don't know, because I haven't looked too much in depth into Freeren. But maybe they do. All right, next up. You guys. I know. I've been saying this a while, and I know it's a long shot. I really do. But we haven't heard any news whatsoever on the new Disney Princess Girl. We haven't. It's been a while since Frozen. And since Frozen wasn't the latest one. It was Little Mermaid. It was Ariel. It's been a while since Ariel, and we haven't had many teasers, many pictures, nothing from the Disney storefront, or Disney front rather, of news. It could be that maybe sales didn't do so well as the years went on, from Rapunzel to Cinderella to Frozen to Ariel. it could be that they're really working hard on another girl, whoever it is that they pick. And I'm thinking it's time for Belle to make an appearance in 2024. I really think it's her time. We went through some of the most famous princesses that Disney has to offer with Rapunzel. Being Rapunzel being released first was kind of like I guess a recency bias, I want to say. Frozen was too hot a title at the time, I think, and I think Rapunzel was just a good mix for them. And then after Rapunzel's sales, I guess they decided to keep on going with Cinderella, with with Frozen. Frozen was a big one for them because they made 4 dolls, not one. Ariel obviously probably had, I'm assuming, had really good sales because Ariel's a beloved character. Who could you do next? I mean, you could do Sleeping Beauty, but let's be honest, as Sleeping Beauty is a beloved character from Disney, she's not really a relevant Disney character. She doesn't command the presence of a Rapunzel or a Cinderella or an Ariel. She just doesn't. She is beloved, but not that kind of beloved. And I think we all know that Belle is one of the most famous characters that has yet to get a doll release. Lummy Lum says Snow White. Snow White's possible too. Snow White's another one that's very popular that has not gotten a release. And the only reason why I think it may not be Snow White is because they released a doll that looks similar to her. I know it wasn't Snow White, but that last resin release for those, I forgot the name of that show or whatever it was from. My initial response from seeing it, I was like, oh, Snow White. And then I found out it's not Snow White. It was from another show, another thing. But it looked eerily similar to Snow White. Not 100%, but eerily similar. And that's the only reason why I think that it may not be Snow White, although Snow White is a very good choice. But Belle, on the other hand, I really think that she should be the next one. Could it be Moana? Could it be Tiana? Yes, it could be. Could it be Mulan? Yes, it could be. There's a lot of princesses still to go, but I think out of the popularity of all the princesses that has not been released yet, I think Belle should be the next one. I mean, if you do a popularity poll, I know that's very subjective, but if there were to be a popularity poll of the next Disney princess to be released from those obviously not released as of yet, I think Belle would be the number one pick. That might be biased because, as you all know, I'm a huge Belle fan, so that could be a 100% biased opinion. But I really do think, like, if I try to base it against who's left, you have Tiana, which is a very popular choice, and I don't know if folks would do it only because of the skin tone color. Not to say that that's a bad thing or anything. It's just they have to commit to making that skin tone color in resin, which Tempest Strife, please correct me because you're my resident resin person. How many dolls have they released in that skin tone color? Like, have they even done it before? I don't know because I'm not very knowledgeable in resin. I know resin in general has had that skin tone color prior in other companies, but from Volks themselves, I don't think they have. Now, would this be a great opportunity for them to make one? Absolutely. Absolutely, it would be. And I think it would be the right move also if they did it, because she's also one of those princesses that are great but very underappreciated. She doesn't get much representation, and I feel like she really should. So, other than Belle, I think Tiana would be the next logical choice. For like Tempest, for like a cocoa skin color for resin. I know it's been done before in other resin companies and resin dolls, but has it been done in Volks category? That I don't know. I'm not very knowledgeable in Volks's resin side. But Tiana would be a great one if it's not Belle. If we were to base it off of like things like Moana or what's the other girl's name from Brave? I forget her name. She could be another choice. Moana's another choice. Mulan would be a good choice too, as well. If you want to go off of somewhat recency bias, I guess they had the Mulan live action movie, which, by the way, didn't do very well in my opinion. She says, oh yes, there is ebony skin. Okay, so if they've done it before, then there's no reason why they can't do it again for Tiana. So that being said, now that I know that Volks have done that skin tone color before, it would probably be a very close tie between Tiana and Belle, I would say, for the next release. Could it be Snow White also? Yes, Snow White's very popular, but like I said, I the last resin that they released looked eerily similar, even though it's not that character. It just looked very similar. Seen on Super Dolphy 16 full choice system. Oh, okay. Okay, so the skin tone color does exist in resin, so why not a Tiana? There's absolutely a reason why not. Oh, Jasmine! Thank you, Lummy Lum. Jasmine's another one. Yeah, Jasmine would be very popular. Also, that would be a more of a... I think that she would command a tan skin tone color. And thank you, Lummy Lum, for bringing that up also, because remember that Volks released last year 3 slipper sets. It was Cinderella slippers, it was Belle slippers, and it was Jasmine slippers. So on that note as well, thank you for the reminder, Lummy. That already shows that they're hinting Jasmine and Belle. So I'm sorry, Tiana, as much as I want you to come out, just remembering that aspect of it, the high heels that we're seeing for Belle and Jasmine kind of hint that now, could it be that they just wanted to make those and release those whatever, and they have no plan to release those characters? Absolutely, that's possible. But just the fact that they released Cinderella, then they released Cinderella slippers, and then they released Jasmine and Belle slippers. It's Belle or Jasmine. Now, I am convinced now. Thank you for reminding me. I totally forgot that actually happened. David Kane's for us Aussies, buying from Japan is the only option. Oh, that's unfortunate. But, you know, you never know. You might be able to get one from Volks USA through proxy if there's a proxy available. Let's see what else is there. I super love Belle. She makes a great princess, but because she is technically not a princess, but she would be a queen. Yes, you're right. She doesn't come from royalty. She is a peasant's daughter or middle-class daughter. She's an inventor's daughter. And, well, isn't the Beast a prince? He was a prince, right? He wasn't technically king. Was he? I don't remember. Like when the witch came down and cursed him, I think they named him as a prince. I don't think they named him as king. But I could be wrong. Either way, if he was deemed king, then, you know, obviously then she would be queen. She technically wouldn't be a princess. You're right. If he's a prince, she wouldn't be a princess either, because then the prince would just be dating a maiden. And she technically wouldn't be a princess either. Ooh, that hurts, because now that I'm thinking about it, does that leave her out of the runnings for being released as a Disney Princess collaboration? Because technically she's not a princess. Ooh. Because Cinderella married a prince. But then, you know what? No, no, we can't dive too much into this. You know why? Because Moana, was she a princess? She might have been. Actually, she might have been. Well, she was the leader's daughter, but I don't know if that counts as a princess in that world. Was she known as princess? Tiana was a princess, if I'm not mistaken. Snow White, she was a princess. Jasmine was a princess. Ooh, this is not looking good for her. The girl from Brave was a princess. Okay, so Moana was a princess? Okay, so Moana was a princess. Ooh, Mulan was not a princess, which is probably why she didn't get a release either. But Mulan was not a princess. She was the daughter of a warrior class. So she definitely was not a princess. And even if she were to marry the general's son, he was not a prince. He was the general's son. So technically not a princess. Oh, Tiana wasn't a princess? I thought she was. I gotta watch that movie again. I thought Tiana was a princess. Either way, this is not looking good for Belle. But I think most people consider her a princess, even though technically she wasn't. I think we all want to consider her a princess. If anything, she's better than a princess. She's a queen. But I don't know. I want a new Disney princess. I want it to be Belle. And even if it's not Belle, let's say it's not Belle, and they make another announcement for a Disney princess, at least they're continuing the line. My biggest fear is that it ends with Ariel and they no longer have IP rights to make any more Disney princesses. That's my biggest fear, because I've been waiting and waiting for Belle to get an announcement. I really want Volks to release Belle. So I hope that they continue to release Disney princesses, whoever they may be. I'm obviously hoping for Belle, but whoever they may be, I hope they continue to release more Disney princesses, because that just gives me hope that Belle will come at some point. Batman Jackson, welcome to the stream, Batman Jackson. But I think it comes more to what Disney considers part of their princess line. So I think you are safe. Yeah, she is considered part of their princess line, because every time they do release like new lines, like those studio series princesses, I mean, she's included. That'd be really messed up if she wasn't included. Every time they release new princess dolls, she's always included. So, I mean, I think I am safe as well. But now that we're delving into the actual lore of it all, and we're delving way too deep into this, but she technically is not a princess. Let's see, what else? Okay, but wait, let's talk about Belle outfits. 1 winter outfit, 2 peasant outfit, 3 yellow ball gown. Okay, if they release Belle, it will be 100% the yellow ball gown, with an option to buy the peasant outfit as an alternate outfit. That I'm calling it right now. If they release Belle, that's how it's going to be, because that is her most iconic look. It is not my favorite look. My favorite look is the peasant outfit, the blue and white. That's my most favorite look for her. But I think that the ball gown is probably the most recognizable outfit for her. I would like to beg to differ, but I'm trying to be realistic. I would like to beg that the peasant outfit is the most popular and bestest outfit for Belle. But if I'm being honest and realistic, I think she is more iconically recognized in the gold yellow ball gown. So yeah, I think it'll be a release with the yellow ball gown with an alternate outfit of the peasant outfit. We can only hope, because she's super popular. We'll see. We'll see. Time will be the determining factor. We just have to keep our hopes up and hopefully get more princesses, and hopefully Belle. Now, next, let's keep moving. All right, another doll I'm looking forward to. Moving on to smart doll stuff. Marvel. I think most of you already know through talking with me or watching my videos on this channel is that out of all the pear-shaped girls, Marvel's my favorite. I would really like to purchase a Marvel at some point. I think the pear-shaped girls are an amazing doll that is getting the attention that it deserves. But just like anything else, I am not a creature of change. I'm a creature of habit. I don't like change. I know change is for the better, and I know change is for the good. And I am for change. It's not that I'm against change. I'm just a creature of habit is all. So when Smart Doll Pair was announced and released, I was a little skeptical. I was like, this is cool. This is something that does need to happen in the community. I 100% agree. It does need to happen. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to get one. I was on the fence. But after seeing this particular Marvel, or this model, seeing Marvel in Anime NYC, I fell in love with her. There were many other pair girls there, which were very cool and very nice, but Marvel captured my heart. So I am waiting for Marvel to be released, and hopefully, I probably won't get her on the very first release. As I've said many, many times on this channel, I'm trying to save up for a trip to Japan. So my idea is, or my goal is that I'm saving up money for Japan, go to Japan, go to the Smart Doll store, pick up Marvel pear-shaped body at the store in Japan. That is really the goal, because I think saving for Japan takes precedence. Because if I keep buying dolls, I can't get to Japan. So I think the goal is to save up as much money as I can, get to Japan, and then pick up Marvel while I'm there. But Marvel is something I'm very much so looking forward to out of all the pear-shaped girls. Now I don't remember where it was. He did post a tweet on X or Twitter or on Instagram or something. And I think it was very, very brief and like a small one-liner where he said something to the effect of OG Chitose making an appearance in Pear Body. If that were to happen, I would more than likely get OG Chitose in Pear Body than I would Marvel. Which I probably shouldn't, because I have so many OG Chitoses already. I really need to diversify my collection. It's already a foregone conclusion that I'll never have every OG Chitose in existence, because I already missed out on the original Coco that looks like lavender. You know, I've already missed out on what is it, like did they release a gray Chitose? Oh, actually, they did not release a gray Chitose as of yet. I got the blue one. I have the milk, obviously the original. I have the Coco. If they make a gray one, I will try to get my hands on it, but I don't think I will. But the fact that I probably will never get the original Coco. It's already making it fall apart. So who knows? Isn't he making Legion Pair? Yes, he is. That is on his list. I think that's on his list for the next Pear Girl to make an appearance. I believe he did say that it's going to be Legion. But I'm just saying, I think he mentioned somewhere in a very brief mention that OG Chitose might make an appearance on Pear. But who knows? Well, only time will tell. But if he doesn't release OG Chitose in Pear, then Marvel is definitely my number one. I will definitely purchase a Marvel when I have the available funds to after my Japan trip, and most likely during my Japan trip I'll try to pick her up while I'm there. That is the goal, that is the plan, but I am waiting for that. Christina says they did make a gray OG. See, I missed out on that. I didn't even realize they did. I really didn't. I honestly didn't realize that they did. I must have been asleep during that announcement. Oh my goodness. So I missed out on that. So I don't have the original Coco and I don't have the gray. So my collection of being the full-time Chi owner is already dead. Because I refuse to pay scalper prices for OG Coco and for gray. I just don't want to pay scalper prices. I'll pay scalper prices on some other things, but not on a character that I obviously love but already have multiple versions of. I just don't think it's really feasible. Plus the fact it's hard to give every OG Chitose enough love when all I do is take T around with me, because right now Chitose and T is the only one I take with me. As Milk is a retired, I don't want to ruin her any more than she has. And she's not really ruined, it's just, you know, a lot of exposure, outdoor exposure. She's kind of dirty. She's starting to yellow because she was taken everywhere. So she's retired and just living her life in the display case right now. But yeah, I haven't really taken Coco around. I haven't taken the blue one around. So, you know, getting every OG Chitose, as much as I want it for my collection, it's just not a realistic thing. And plus, the more diversity, the better. I need more characters other than Chi, as much as I like Chi. So Marvel is the one I'm looking forward to. And at least for Pear Girls right now, out of all the ones that have been announced, released, I think Marvel is the one I want to go for. Tempest says, I didn't hang much in the vendor. Oh, okay, she's talking to Batman. Okay, so moving on. We've talked about this before, but I want to make it clear, if it wasn't clear already. I want this muscular Arnold Schwarzenegger smart doll body. I want it. I want The Rock. It's something that I cannot attain that I wish I could. I want to look like this. I want muscles like this. I worked out for many, many years in my youth because I was trying for a job that required me to be physically fit. But I want to be like ripped and muscular, and it just never happened for me. No matter how much I exercised, I always was very fit and athletically built, but never bulky big like this. And this is a body that I would like personally. Because most people say like, well, not most people, but some people say they want to identify with their dolls. They want a doll that represents them, which is fine. Everybody should have that opportunity. I think that's a great thing to have. But I don't want a doll that represents me. I want one of what I want to look like, and this is what I want to look like, as stupid as it sounds. I want to be like Asian Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know it sounds dumb. I've always wanted to be big and buff. Maybe it's because I'm a short, small little guy, and like I have this like Chihuahua complex or something. But like I've always wanted to be big and muscular, and I think this is the closest chance I'll get right now because I'm too old. I can always work out and be big if I wanted to, but like I just don't have the time for that now. Even if I were to try to get more in shape, I don't think I can reach the heights of this. So this is something I'm definitely 100% behind. But because Danny is focusing on the pear-shaped bodies right now, which is rightfully so, and because he's also very interested in making a female muscular body, I'm afraid to say that this body will take a back seat. He's also working on a new version 2 for the boys, Semi-Real Boy. As you guys have probably seen from his Instagram post, the new gray boy that he's been working on, and in collaboration with a lot of people who have been submitting their amazing designs for the gray boy look. I really feel like this muscular male body is going to take a back seat. Would I like it to be in 2024? Probably not. It'll more likely be 25, 26 if it's even released. Or it may just forever go on the back burner and just never get a release. We honestly don't know. He has so many projects that he's working on, and all of them are great projects. So what we do know for sure is that the majority of his attention is on Pear. And if we were to estimate or try to figure out what his next passion project is that he's going to be devoting the second most time to, it's definitely Cortex 2. And then it would be muscular female, and then it would be version 2 male. So this body of the Arnold Schwarzenegger / The Rock type / John Cena type body, I'm afraid this is going to be on the back burner for a very long time. But I don't know. Prove me wrong, Danny. I mean, who knows? You'll never know. I will never know. I mean, only Danny knows, right? But when he posted this, I was super excited. I was just like, this is so cool. 100% on board. I still am 100% on board. I really want it. Christina says, I've been trying to get a Crimson Head for 4 years because he was my favorite boy. Purple boy, purple boy, purple boy. Yes, purple boy, muscular man. Look at that six pack. I mean, look at those lats. Like those pecs, man. Like it's just, and he's not cold. This is a smooth bust. Tempest says, I think the sculpt was beautiful, but I feel like Imomodal and Granado got there first. They did. Imomodal and Granado did get there first, but Imomo and Granado are no longer offering those bodies currently. Am I not mistaken? I think they are currently not available. But they did get there first, true. Would it do well? Not sure. It's a male view body, in my opinion, in the line of Shizu-san's wishful desire for body image. I don't know. Okay, realistically, I'm trying... My desires or my wishes aside, realistically, is there an outcry for a male body like this? Probably not. If I'm being dreadfully honest, I think when it comes to male bodies, I think the thing that most people are akin to wanting is more like the BTS style bodies, which they already released. I know they're probably going to get a version 2 as Danny Chu is working on it, but the more slimmer, more athletically fit and lean is probably the way that most companies like Smart Doll or Volks would probably go. Something like this huge muscular body, it's probably not realistic, even if Danny Chu does make it, because he's all about diversity and breaking the barriers between what is expected and what is needed in diversity. I think that this is needed in diversity. I think this is a very underrepresented male body type. At least in vinyl. And I know I'm saying that with Granado and Imomo out there, but they're not available. So, and they may not be available for good reason. It may be because sales were really, really low. So, realistically, will this ever come to a fruition? I'd say it's 50-50 right now because, as I said before, Danny Chu's all about diversity, all about representation and inclusivity. And if we want to be inclusive towards classic, pair, and then male BTS body, I'm just going to call it, athletic, lean female body, I think that this is an underrepresented body. And if Danny Chu's true to his word about inclusivity and diversity, I think this would make his lineup very diverse. I mean, what do you guys think? It probably will not sell well. And there may not be as many people as myself or Christina that are very much so looking forward to this body. I'll be happy if he releases it and makes it seasonal. I'll be one of the first ones to buy the first release. I'm excited for this body. I want it. But just because I want it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But am I looking forward to the possibility of it happening? Absolutely. How old in the photo? It's using the old frame, not the evolve frame. You're correct. It is not using the evolve frame. So I don't know how old the photo is in reality, but he posted it in December. It's quite possible that he took this picture before then, but when he officially posted it, it was in December. Imomo is still offering theirs, but it's 75 centimeters tall. Is Imomo's vinyl? I keep forgetting. I know Grenado's was vinyl. I don't remember about Imomo's. Yeah, David, that's what I'm thinking. Posted 2 weeks ago, but taken years ago. It's very possible. It's very possible that this was taken a way back. It's also very possible that they just kind of like put whatever they had lying around. But maybe not so much, because if they're really basing off all their dolls off the new Evolve frame, it would be kind of silly to put this into an old frame when they're just going to have to change everything. Well, not everything, but they're just going to have to change the way the frame sits in this body if they're basing it off the old frame. So yes, it's a very good catch, David. It was probably taken years back and just was never spoken of until recently. Tempest says, I don't think it's ostracized against the like body differences or skin tones or weight differences. What do you mean? The muscular body? Again, it's very, I wouldn't say very, but it is represented in resin much more than it is in vinyl. You have things like Imomo, you have things like Granado, but how many people in the doll community, especially now because a lot of newcomers to the doll community are joining because of Smart Doll, and maybe or Volks, but let's be real, a lot of the new people in the doll community are really coming over because Smart Doll. I really believe that's the case. There are new people that join because of Volks Every Day, maybe because of the Your release, maybe because of the Free Run release, but I feel like the huge uptick in doll enthusiasts, I guess you want to say, or doll newbies, are really joining the hobby from the outlook of Smart Doll, and then maybe from Smart Doll branching out to Dolphy or A-Zone or whatever. But I think a lot of the new people are coming in from the Smart Doll side of things. I don't think it's ostracized. I just think it's just something that doesn't fit with the current meta of vinyl dolls. Everything is based off of the classic or the Dolphy Dream body, and then expanded upon from there. And whether or not companies want to take that extra route to expand upon it is purely up to them. We know that not all companies do it because we ask for it, although Smart Doll is one of the rare few that when we ask for something, the possibility of it having it done is more than likely than if we ask Volks to do something or A-Zone to do something, as a community at least. Somi, welcome to the stream. Somi, thank you for being here. I'm glad you got to catch the stream as well. I think it will sell well. Batman says, I think it will sell well, but not as well as the girls, thus being put on the back burner. Absolutely. I think it will sell. I will be one of the buyers, but I don't think it will ever sell as well as the girls. I don't think it will even sell as well as the boy BTS bodies. It'll be a rare doll. It'll be a seasonal doll. It might be a one-shot release doll and then never again. Who knows? But I do hope that if it does get a release, I'll be one of the ones to get the first release and only release of this doll, because this is something that I've been looking forward to. I know I haven't really voiced it very much so before the announcement of this, but it's more so because I just didn't think it was ever going to happen. I've had male dolls that I did like, but I don't really talk about because one is a resin, and I'm not really a resin person, although I do appreciate some of the resin dolls, and there are some resin dolls that I really, really adore. And for the vinyl releases, I wasn't really a fan of the current releases. I like Sword Art Online. I like Sword Art Online, but I like Asuna. Kirito's not a bad character, but I have no interest in owning Kirito. I'm not a Vocaloids fan, although I do appreciate Vocaloids for what they are. And of course, Batman Jackson's one of my good friends, and I know she's a very huge Vocaloid fan. But I'm not really a Kaito fan, so I wouldn't be purchasing Kaito as well. I'm not a big fan of Nier Automata either. I played the game. It was fun. But after beating it once, I didn't feel like playing it again to get the true endings or the other endings. It was just like a one-shot for me. It was a fun game to play, but I don't know. I just couldn't fall in love with the characters. Although the character design for 2B and A2 are really sweet looking. Who else was released? There was Kirito, there was 9S, there was Kaito. I think that's about it. And then for like the boys, I really wanted to get a Suzaku, but Suzaku just I didn't have the funds for Suzaku at the time. I wasn't really interested in Lelouch, although I'm a big Code Geass fan. I wanted C2, obviously. So I don't really talk about male dolls all that much because more of my interest lies on the female dolls. And some of you might be like, oh, that figures, whatever. But it is what it is. I do have an inkling for this, though. I really want a big muscular boy body. And the fact that one of my favorite companies, Smart Doll, is even thinking about making one, it makes me want it even more. If Grenado Doll were to reopen their sales for their male dolls, I'd give it a consideration, especially if they're the only game in town. But if Smart Doll is even thinking of making a male body like this, I would 100% go with Smart Doll. And given from this prototype, I'm already on board. Dusk logged on. Hello, welcome Dusk. I searched up Toad singing that song from the Titanic and got this stream instead. What? What? You searched up Toad singing that song from Titanic and you got me? Well, I'm glad that you're here, Dusks. But I don't know how to take that. Like, is YouTube algorithm saying I sound like a toad? I will say, Dusk, that I am sick right now. So maybe I have a raspy kind of voice more so than I usually do. But damn, that's harsh, man. YouTube called me a toad singing from Titanic. That's what I sound like. Oh, well, welcome to the stream, Dusks. I don't know if this type of stream strikes your fancy, but welcome and thank you for letting me know that I sound like the toad from the Titanic song. Oh my god. Christina Kowalt says, be super interesting to see what the jeans look like on this body. That would be. That would be interesting. It would also be a different pair of jeans. It would be a much bigger jeans, obviously, to fit those thunder thighs that he's got on there. I mean, looking at this body, this dude does not skip leg day for sure. Like, leg day is definitely on his calendar, and he does not skip it. Lummy Lum says same. I want Suzaku too. David Gaines is laughing at me. Dusks is laughing at me. Listen, I don't know if I should be offended or flattered that I sound like the Toad from the Titanic song. I don't know how to take that, but I think it's pretty hilarious that I am recommended because of the Toad singing the song from Titanic. Oh my god. All right. Hello Somi says, did Danny say if he will make the new male body in IRL skin tones, or will it be gray fantasy skin tone? Been busy, so can't always follow up on everything on social media posts. He didn't specify. He just said that he's working on it, and he's, I guess you could say, theory crafting it, but he didn't say whether or not it's going to be released at, if any, or at all. The purple torso and bust on this doll that you see is purely for printing, 3D printing purposes. It's not because we are going to get purple dolls in the future, although that would be awesome, but it's just the resin or the whatever, the 3D printing ink or string that they're using to print this body. Even if it gets released, it'll probably get released outside of Gray's lifetime for the skin tone, because I already feel like Gray is nearing the end of its release time frame. I honestly think if it's nearing the end, I honestly think it's probably already there. I don't see any more Grays actually being released. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't see any more Grays to be released in the near future, because he's solely focused on the pear-shaped bodies. Excuse me. But if he were releasing Gray still, it will more than likely be on a pear-shaped body. Let's put it at that. But yeah, this is something I'm looking forward to. Will it come out in 2024? I hope so, but honestly and realistically, probably not a 2024 release. But it would be amazing if it was. At least for me, it would be amazing. And for Christina, because Christina's on board just as much as I am. Okay, next. Yay! Here's what I'm looking forward to in 2024 as well. Cortex. Moguri, welcome to the stream, Moguri. Woo! Welcome to the stream, Moguri. Cortex 2. I'm very excited for Cortex 2. I can't wait for Cortex 2. I really want to build one. I want to make one. I want to see what it's all about. Especially that since I was, there for the release of Cortex 1, I had built a Cortex already. I made a video on how to build the original Cortex. I was one of the beta testers for the original Cortex, so I'm very, very, very much so looking for Cortex 2. You can see in this picture on the far right, the part separation. Look at that part separation for the feet. That is crazy. I know that he's trying to follow the cyber shell lines to make it easier for the cutting or for the separation of pieces, and obviously that's the right way to go. But the one thing I noticed that I mentioned in the Doll Symposium last week, and I think I mentioned it in the prior weeks, is the venting. Look at this on the left and the middle picture. You could see the holes for the venting of the body, and just what? We already knew going into this that Cortex 2 was going to have cyber shell lines. We already knew that the cyber shell lines is where the part separation was going to be, because that just makes the most sense. What we didn't know until now was that the cyber shell body, Cortex 2, has vents. Now, Danny Chu has mentioned and called them vents in a recent post. I don't know if that's what they really are, or if he borrowed the term from either me or any other YouTubers calling them vents. I'm pretty sure he already called it that before any of us said. I just think it's cool if I were to say, look at those vents, and then Danny Chu's like, oh yeah, they could be vents. I think that would be really cool, but I highly doubt that was the case. I'm pretty sure he already called it that and already planned it that way to begin with. But the one thing I feel like I called out before he mentioned it, when he released the pictures of Cortex 2, I think it wasn't any of these pictures. It was one of these pictures here that you see on the far left, where it was one of those screenshots of the monitor of like in the CAD system or whatever system they use to create these things. I remember saying it, and you guys can back me up on this. In a prior episode of the Doll Symposium, I said, what are those holes for? They look like vents. And I remember saying, wouldn't it be cool if when you build a Cortex 2 that you can fit LEDs in there and then you turn them on and they could shine out the vents much like a Gundam Unicorn does when it releases, all that energy or whatever. I said that. And then he made a post and said, wouldn't it be cool if lights came out of these vents? I'm not saying that Danny Chu got the idea from me. I'm sure he had planned it that way from the get-go. All I'm saying is I called it first. I think I'm the first one out of anybody else in the doll community to say, hey, wouldn't that be great if there were LED lighting coming out of those vents? I could be wrong, as there are many YouTubers, Instagrammers, and Twitter people or X people out there making their own predictions. But I just haven't looked at every single post known to man about Cortex 2. So if somebody else already called it before me, that's fine. But if I was the first one to say it, yay me, go me. But I think this is so cool. I know a lot of Gunpla builders that I know personally have already expressed the fact that they didn't know or didn't realize that Cortex was a thing, and they would have liked to have built one. The fact that Cortex 2 now is coming out and that it looks more robotic and looks more androidy, a lot of my friends are very excited right now for it. Because they can do things with this, especially the cyber markings and everything, and to be able to light up the vents and all that. A lot of customizers that I know are very excited for this and will be interested in purchasing one. More than likely, they'll probably look at mine when I get one. I'll probably show it to all of them, and then they're probably going to want one. But I think that Cortex 2, while I don't believe it'll be released in 2024. We can always hope and pray that it will. It'll more likely get a release in 2025. And the only reason why I say that is because he's still hyper-focused on Pair. If he has moved on from Pair, not to say that Pair will end, but if he's satisfied with where Pair is, and then they're just going to do regular releases every month or so out, or every 2 months or so out of different characters, and then he's 100% focused on Cortex, then I would say Cortex is going to release in 2024. But the fact that his attention is split right now, I think that we probably won't see Cortex till 2025 at the earliest. Because you got to remember, this is all prototyping stages. He still has to make the molds because all these stuff is 3D printed. He still needs to have the molds made. So, it's going to take some time. Would I like to see it in 2024? Absolutely. Realistically, would it be in 2024? Probably not. But I am super excited about it. Tempest says, I'm super hyped for Cortex 2. I might need to lose $1 or $2 first. Dude, I'm already planning on probably selling some dolls. If any of you watching this video is interested in a doll in my collection, let me know. I will consider it because I need money for these new dolls. And some of my dolls I haven't been able to bond with recently, but they hold a special place for me, which is why I never sell them. But I will consider maybe selling. Maybe. Depends. And don't ask me for OG anything, because I'm not getting rid of any of my Chitose. Sorry. But maybe something else. But we'll see. Asuna's not going anywhere either, so don't even try. Uh, Batman's like, I only have so much money, geez. I know. We don't have enough money. I'm not super rich. I wish I was. Then I could buy every doll known to man, and that would be great. I would have a house dedicated to them, but I don't have that money. Even if I won the lottery, I don't think I would. The lottery wouldn't have enough money for me to do something like that. PMB Sakura says, I see a lot of possibilities for modifications with Cortex 2. Absolutely. I see a lot more Android possibilities too. I can see a lot of people customizing these things. A lot. It's not to say that people couldn't customize the original Cortex. You could, and some people have. But I think that this will speak to a whole new demographic of doll collectors, or new doll collectors, or possibly some Gunpla people coming over to the hobby purely not for vinyl dolls, but purely for the Cortex 2. Because if you think about it, Cortex 2 is just a larger, and I want to say larger, and probably has a lot of possibilities for customization, more so than Mecha Musume dolls. Because Mecha Musume dolls are very small. They're only at like, yay big, like what is that, like 6 inches tall or 8 inches tall. You're talking about a smart doll that's almost 2 feet tall. I mean, you could do a lot with that, especially hiding little LED lights in there or customizing, because the bigger the doll, the easier it is to work on, versus like a smaller doll where everything is so small, like you have to have, like, if you really want to get intricate stuff, you have to like magnifying glass and tweezers or whatever to super customize. But with a bigger doll like this, there will also be problems because it's so big. You need bigger parts or bigger customization, but it would just be easier to work on, I would think. That's my assumption. It's like when I worked on cars as a mechanic. It was always easier to work under the hood of like a Honda Pilot or Honda Ridgeline than it was to work on like a Honda CRZ or or an S2000, because it was so small. The car was so small. Everything was like cramped into tight areas. Like it was just not fun to like work on those cars. Lummy says you got to keep C2. Oh, I would definitely keep C2. I mean, I had a part in making her. I would never give her up. Christina Qual says, I make a offer to a boy head. I don't have a boy head though. Hello, somebody says, I remember from a very long time ago, there was one person who used LEDs inside their mirror, I think to make it a volume display on our hand, and when played music, I can't remember, but it looks cool. I'm sure that there's someone that did do that. I'm sure somebody did. I don't remember it. I'm trying to remember if I've seen that, but there were so many things that were posted back then when Cortex first released, and so many really amazing ideas. One thing that I really like that has subsided in the community and has recently resurged slightly because of Danny was tattoos. If you guys remember, way back in the day, maybe 2016, I want to say, there was a bunch of smart doll people that were putting tattoos on their dolls. And one user in particular, I saved all their pictures because it just looked majestic, where they had full arm sleeves or full body tattoos on their dolls, and they looked so cool. And you've seen it die after all these years. You rarely ever see any customized dolls with tattoos. And then Danny Chu came out and but he showed a prototype tattoo of a pear girl with a tattoo on the arm, and it looked cool. So I'm hoping that tattoos as a trend for the doll community, for customizing community, will come back. I would love to give tattoos to one of my dolls, especially Portia. I think Portia could use a tattoo. I would love to give her a tattoo. Probably, see, I wouldn't want to ruin it because she's one of a kind, but Artemis could really use a really cool tattoo. But yeah, I think maybe one of my OG Chitoses, I would put a tattoo on it, but I don't know. I need a tattoo artist. Like, not like a legit tattoo artist, but somebody that knows what they're doing to put a tattoo on my doll. I would love one. Like, super cool. Like a smoky black and white looking kind of thing. Oh, that looks so good. I would love to get a tattoo myself. I'm afraid of needles, though. I think that's a big bummer. Like, if you want tattoos, but you are afraid of needles, like, that's like saying, I always wanted a sports car, but I'm afraid to drive. You know what I mean? Like, Moguri says Porsche needs a Porsche logo tattoo. You know, I don't know. I think that would be cool, but I think it would also be a little too tacky to put a Porsche tattoo on Porsche. Tempest says my sis could probably help with that. Well, let's talk on that, Tempest, because I would be interested. But yeah, that's Cortex 2 in a nutshell, at least for now. Super excited for it. I'm hoping it comes out this year, but really, it probably will be 2025. Let's be real, people. But the possibilities of what you could do with it, I think, are awesome. And Cortex 1 did not get a lot of love because there was a lot of problems with it. I personally didn't have those problems, but I understand that some people did. And I know some people that have had those problems. So I'm hoping that Cortex 2 will resolve or solve, or at least somewhat get rid of those issues. There's always going to be new issues that rise with things. But let's hope that Cortex 2 has less of a bumpy ride than the original. Christina Kowalt says, Bai has a boy called Genesis Lynch. 1745 one day left it too much. It's too much for you? That is too much for anyone. Like 1745 is a lot. I don't even think I've never spent that much money on a doll, but I was very close. Asuna here was very close to that, but not quite 1745. Tempest Strife says, for a real one, there is a tattoo convention at the Philadelphia Convention Center this weekend. I want one. I really do. Okay, so here's the thing with tattoos. I want one so bad. One, I can't seem to settle on what I want. Because every time I think of something and I'm like, yeah, that'll be cool. When I think about it now, it's like, oh, I'm glad I didn't do that because I'm not really interested in that anymore. That doesn't really appeal to me anymore. So it's like so hard to pick a design. And then two, which I think is the more prevalent concern, is the fact that I'm deathly afraid of needles. I'm afraid to get a tattoo because I'm so scared of needles. Like you have to understand, when I go to the doctors and they need to either take blood or give me a shot, I legit have a panic attack. One person told me that I need to chill out before they give me the shot because I was turning beet white. Like I'm deathly afraid of needles. I hate them. I don't like them. I'd rather you punch me in the face than get a shot. Like it's an unrealistic fear, I know, but it is a fear nonetheless. And that's what really prevents me from getting a tattoo. That and the fact that I would have a really tough time going to onsens next time I go to Japan. So there are tattoo friendly onsens, I know, but that would just mean I can't go to any willy-nilly onsen. I would have to look for the one that's okay with it, which is a bummer. Moguri says every Porsche needs its logo. You are right. Every Porsche does need its logo. But she's Porsche. Her name is Porsche, not Porsche. Hello Somi says, maybe just do a temporary tattoo to see how you like it before committing. That's what I do. I've done that though, Hello. I've done that, Somi. I've done like the little gumball machine temporary tattoos. I've never tried henna tattoo. I always wanted to try that. And sometimes when you go to anime conventions, there are booths that sell like these temporary tattoos that look really cool. I've never tried them because they're pretty expensive for a temporary tattoo. So I've never actually tried them. Maybe I should this year. Next time I see that booth at a con, maybe I'll buy one and try it out. But like I had like so many ideas. Like I wanted to get the Claymore logo for Teresa, because even though I'm not a huge fan of Claymore, I was way back in the day, but I just really like their intricate, it's not even really intricate, but I like their symbols for the Claymores. And Teresa the Faint Smile is my favorite. I want her symbol and I would like to put it like at the back of my neck. I think that would be really cool. And saying it out loud sounds really tacky, but this is like one of the things I would want. I know a lot of people do things like they put their kids' faces or something like that, or their kids' names on it. I don't think that's something I would like, although that's something that I would never get old of or tired of because they're my kids. I love my kids. But I just don't think that's me. Like, I want something anime, but the problem with me is that all the things anime that I could get, anime goes through phases, just like anybody else. it would have to be an anime that's one of my all-time favorites, and even then, I don't know what I would get. Like, for instance, Macross Frontier is one of my all-time favorites. It will never, ever be not a favorite. But what would I get that's Macross Frontier related? Like, I don't want to get Frontier tattoo. And as much as I love Cheryl, I don't think I want Cheryl on my body for, like, permanently. So, like, it wouldn't be that. Like, I just don't know what I would be comfortable with having forever. Now, there are things like you could always get a tattoo cover-up, or you can get laser removal, but I'd rather just pick one that I really, really like and just not have to go through that. So it's just one of those things, and that is preventing me from doing it. And is it an unrealistic thing? Maybe, but that's what's stopping me right now. That's really what's stopping, because my wife could care less. I mean, she'll say things like, "I don't want you to get one," but if I were to get one, I don't think she would really care either. She would probably be like, "That's stupid," and then just like leave it at that. Okay, moving on. Okay, we are going to leave off because this is all my slides for stuff I'm looking forward to in 2024. Anime Corner will be left to last. So let's talk about my schedule for 2024. I know not everybody is interested in this, but for those of you that are interested, this is something I guess you can look forward to, I suppose. All right, let me set this up. Hold on. Where is it? I'm gonna put this like this. Okay. All right, so first up, Katsucon. Katsucon is going to be this February, very, very soon, within 2 weeks, February 16th through 18th. This is my first stop for 2024. I've never been to Katsucon before. It's on my bucket list, so now I can finally cross it off. I am going to be hosting, well, theoretically, I'm hosting 3 panels, but I've only heard back from Katsucon on 2 of the panels. The 3rd panel, they said, hey, we accepted this panel, but they never gave me a date and time. But my other 2 panels, I have a date and time already. So that 3rd panel is somewhere in limbo. I don't know what's going on with that. And that's my sumo panel. So I got an email saying that we accept your sumo panel and we would like to have it at our convention. But I never got a date or time, so I don't know if that's really going to happen. But the other 2 that I got is Intro to Anime Dolls and the Dolphy Dream 101 panel. I am doing both of those panels at Katsucon. Let's see, Intro to Anime Dolls will be Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 in Live Room 7. And the Dolphy Dream panel will be Saturday, 3 to 4 p.m. in Live Room 7. So that is what I'm going to do. That is my schedule for Katsucon so far. If I don't have any panels, I probably won't be there Sunday. I'll probably be traveling Sunday to go back home. But if I have a panel on Sunday, then obviously I'll be there at the con. Now, Batman Jackson, if you're still here in the chat or on the live stream, Batman Jackson did reserve us a room. We have a room for a doll meetup, specifically for our doll meetup. We have a room, and it'll be Friday for 1 hour, or I think she said 1 hour or 2 hours. Was it 1 hour or 2 hours, Batman? I forgot. 2 hours. We have 1:30 to 3:30 in that room, and it'll be on Friday. So it's not the best of times. I mean, obviously Saturday would probably be the better time, but hey, we're happy to have a room at all. So just having a room for us to meet up in is super cool. So Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, we will have a specific room for a doll meetup. I don't have the room yet. Batman, do you know what room it is? We probably won't know until we get closer to the con which room, but we do have a room. So if you guys want to do a meetup with me or hang out or talk doll stuff or take pictures or whatever, Friday is the day that you're definitely going to want to be at the con. Now, I know a lot of people are still working Friday, so it would require you to take the day off. But Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, we have a doll room all to ourselves to hang out and do whatever. So I will be there. I will be doing some giveaways. It won't be a scavenger hunt this time because since we have a room, it'll more likely be some kind of game or something that I will do. I haven't decided what kind of game as of yet, but I will be doing a giveaway for this event. Now, remember, if you've been a part of my giveaways prior, it's nothing crazy. It's just a small gift from me to you just for coming to hang out. It's nothing really crazy at all. So don't be like, oh, I've got to go Friday because he's going to give away stuff. It's nothing super crazy. More than likely, it's going to be a gift card, if anything. It's just a gift from me that I'd like to give out to people that made the effort to come, and hang out. And it's not like people don't want to make effort, but I understand schedules are tight. Not everybody can take off from their jobs on a Friday to attend these things. So, for those of you that actually have the availability, have the time, and want to participate, it's just a small gift from me to you for coming down and hanging out. Batman says, J Fashion 2. I'm not sure which room that correlates to yet. Okay, so J Fashion 2 room. That's where it's going to be. We don't know where it is in the building as of yet. And obviously, as we get closer to the day, I will update all of you on where the room is, and I'll let you guys know. But Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, we have a room to hang out in for at least 2 hours. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Batman, for setting that up for us. And I hope to see some of you there, and we can all hang out. Just have fun. Now, next on my list. Let me get something to drink real quick. Hold on. Oh, sorry. All right. Next on my list for 2024, Castle Point Anime. Castle Point Anime, I haven't been to in a while. It's been probably 4 years since I last been to Castle Point Anime. This is not 100% on my radar yet because I haven't heard back from them. So if my panels are accepted, then I will be at Castle Point Anime. If my panel is not accepted, I more than likely won't be there. It's not an elitist thing. It's not anything like that. It's just that these things cost money to go to, as you all know. And I just want to make sure if I'm going to spend a lot of money to go to an event, that at least I'd be able to present in one. The only event that takes exception to that would be Anime NYC, and that's because it's very ridiculously hard to get a panel at Anime NYC, especially as a solo panelist. Anime NYC likes to have group panels, if anything, and I'm more of a solo panelist, so I apply every year, but I never get in. So if I do get accepted to Castle Point Anime, it's going to be in April, during my birthday. So if I do get a panel accepted here, then I will be there at Castle Point Anime, and hopefully some of you I will see there. But it is a small convention here in New Jersey, but it's a good one. Even though it's small, it's a good one. I've gone to it for several years already, just not recently because obviously it closed down for COVID and stuff like that. But now that they're back up and running for at least, I think 2 years now, they've been up and running. I think it's time for me to make a return. I've always had fun at Castle Point Anime. It's a great con. All right, now the really cool one. Thy Geekdom Con. Thy Geekdom Con will be May 24 to 26. Now, last year, for those of you that are not unaware, last year at Thy Geekdom Con, we had a doll booth. Thank you to Tempest Strife for setting everything up. We were able to have a booth for was it 3 days or 2 days? I can't remember anymore. I think it was 3 days. Yeah, it's 3 days. We had a booth there for 3 days. And it was me, Tempest Strife, Lindsay. It was My Lady Disdain's John and Sandy. Anna and Corey from Kitten Cat Shop were there as well. And and Tempest Strife's sister was there as well. And it was a great time. We had giveaways. Somebody got their first doll in the giveaway there. And we had a lot of dolls on display. We had a booth where you can make your own slippers there. We had a photo booth with backgrounds and stuff. So it was a great time. And we have been asked if we would like to come back this year, and we definitely agreed. So as of right now, as far as I know for sure, it'll be Tempest Strife and myself this year at Thy Geekdom Con. I don't have a definite answer as of yet from John and Sandy from My Lady Disdain on whether or not they will be there this year, although I'm assuming that they will be. It's just and it's just the only reason why I don't know is because I honestly haven't even asked them yet. But they did express wishes to do so last year. They were like, "Yeah, we'll come back next year." But again, things change, people's schedules change, and maybe something may come up where they may not be able to attend. Who knows? But they might. I just haven't confirmed with them. That's all it is. And then Anna and Corey from Kitten Cat Shop may be there again. I have not confirmed with them as of yet either. But the only confirmed sightings or confirmed people is myself and Tempest that will be here this year for that Geekdom Con. I like I said, I'm assuming that the other two are going to make it. My lady staying in Kitten Cat Shop. I'm assuming they're coming, but if not, you'll have me and Tempest there. I hope to see more of you there. We will be giving out a doll for free again this year. Obviously, it's under wraps. We're not going to tell you which one, but we are going to have a lottery again for a giveaway. So a doll is definitely going to be one of them. We might have several dolls, but if we do end up having several dolls for a giveaway, it's not like they're all going to be the expensive kind. Like we're going to have one, for sure, we're going to have one-third scale doll giving away for free during the lottery. For other dolls, like last year we had a couple Barbie dolls that we gave away, things like that. We gave away some doll accessories as well. So this year we're probably going to be looking at more of the same. And so you have that to look forward to. Both Tempest and myself will be doing panels at this con as well. I just don't know which ones yet, but we more than likely will be doing panels. So please, if you have the opportunity to go, come out to Thy Geekdom Con. We are trying to build a hangout spot in a convention for the doll community here on the East Coast. I've been trying to do it for years, and so far, Thy Geekdom Con is the first con that allowed us to have an actual booth for dolls. Otakon last year let us have a small booth area. Thank you to Batman Jackson. In the Artist Alley, we had a booth there, but it was kind of piggybacking off of the information booth. So it's not like it was like in the regular vendor hall section or Artist Alley section. It was more so like at the information booth, we had a really cool like L-shaped table thing where we got to display all the dolls, which was really awesome. I believe we're doing that again this year at Otakon, but I need to confirm with Batman. Batman, if you're still in the chat, let me know. But I'm pretty sure Batman said that we're going to have another opportunity like that this year. Again, nothing is set in stone as of yet, but we may. But if you want to hang out, please come down to Thy Geekdom Con. It's a great con. It's a small con, though. It's a small hometown con, but it's great. It's got everything, as the name implies, Thy Geekdom. Like, there's anime stuff, there's comic book stuff, there's cosplay stuff, there's video game stuff. It's a little bit of everything in this one little con out in the greater Philadelphia area, which is... honestly, it's great if you want a slice of everything when you go somewhere. So definitely come down to Thy Geekdom Con, May 24th to 26th. It'll be a great time. Now, next up, Otakon. Otakon will be the first week of August this time instead of the last week of July. It's going to be August 2nd through the 4th. I plan on attending to Otakon. I don't know what panels or if I will be doing any panels because the panel applications haven't opened yet. I will apply. I don't know if I'm going to get any. Even if I don't get any panels, which would be a real bummer, I will more than likely be at Otakon this year again anyways. Plus, the family really enjoys hanging out and seeing the sights in Washington, D.C. while we go to Otakon. So definitely will be there this year. I have a couple new panels that I'm experimenting with that I want to do this year. I will try to see if I could do the sumo panel, but it'll be a little bit different. Before was an intro panel to sumo wrestling. I'll probably do a different sumo panel this year. I'm thinking about doing some other panels. I don't want to give those ideas away, lest somebody steal my idea. But I do have other ideas other than doll stuff. But I will try to do a doll panel at Otakon. But here's the deal with these cons. If you're a regular panelist every year, they don't want to see the same panel every year. So I've already done intro to doll panels. I've done the smart doll panel. I've done the Dolphy Dream panel. The one panel I haven't done at Otakon is Dolphy Dream versus Smart Doll comparison. I've done doll shopping in Japan at Otakon, so I'm gonna have to come up with some new ideas for doll panels at Otakon this year. But I will be there regardless. So I'm just hoping I get panels because I really love doing it and spreading the doll love at every con that I go to. So I hope I get one. But yeah, Otakon, August 2nd through the 4th. There's also, you know what? No, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to jinx it. Just come to Otakon. As we get closer to Otakon, as we get closer to August, I will divulge more information about Otakon and what I'll be doing during that time frame. But hopefully we'll still have the doll booth there and some other fun stuff that we can do at Otakon in 2024. Now, next up, Anime NYC. So, Anime NYC, this is something that I'm very, I guess, disappointed in. Anime NYC, from all of its inception, has been in November. It has always been a winter con. I don't know what prompted them to make it in August, because August is a very busy month for not just conventions, but also families traveling. And it's super hot. I know that waiting out in the cold in line to get inside sucks, but I personally would rather wait in the cold than in 100-degree heat. Like 100-degree heat, especially if you're wearing cosplay, people are going to start fainting. In like 0-degree temperature cold, at least when they cosplay, the cosplay will keep them warm and they could put a jacket over the cosplay. You could still find ways to keep warm. But short of dressing down buck nude to keep cool in 100-degree weather, obviously that's going to present its problems, but you can't deal with the heat like you can deal with the cold in the same manner. There's a lot of reasons why I think that Anime NYC is bad to be in August. It's the heat, it's the time frame for families traveling, it's the fact that there's a lot of conventions in August. The great thing about having it in the winter is it's one of the only winter cons, first of all. New York Comic Con happens in October. So Anime NYC being in November, it's one of the few cons that are in the winter schedule lineup. Now, there are other cons that happen during the winter schedule, but I mean, honestly, the biggest one is Anime NYC, and pretty much everybody goes to Anime NYC. Why they're moving to August, I don't know. My plan for Anime NYC this year is to be there on Saturday, as getting 3-day badges for Anime NYC is next to impossible anymore. Unless you're like Johnny on the spot when they release tickets, or you pay the aftermarket scalper prices for 3-day badges, getting into Anime NYC has been a chore and super difficult to get in. So I will only be there for Saturday. If Smart Doll decides to appear at Anime NYC this year in August, and if Danny Chu wants my assistance to help in the booth, then I will be there all 3 days. But if Danny's not there all 3 days, I will only be there Saturday. And even if Danny is there, if he doesn't need my assistance, which is fine because other people should have a chance to help out at the booth too, I may not be there all 3 days as well. It's more so the fact that I just can't get the badge to go for all 3 days. The 3-day badges is already sold out. If you want a 3-day badge, they do have that secondary market where you can buy badges, but they're like double the price. So just to give you an understanding, is that if you bought a 3-day badge when it first came out, you're looking at I think it's like $120 or something like that. If you want to buy a 3-day badge now, since they're sold out, it's next to like $200 something, if not $300. It's absolutely ridiculous, the prices. It's a great con, don't get me wrong, but the price is just too high. So I'm only going to be there Saturday. Unless I'm asked to help out, then it'll just be Saturday. Also, I still am not a big fan. And plus, having Anime NYC, at least for a local like myself, that lives in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania area. For a local like myself, there are not many cons in the winter, and this gives me something to look forward to in the winter. Like, it's one of the only cons I ever even give attention to go into the winter. So the fact that it's not there anymore, it's like, well, that kind of sucks. You think it's 160 for 3 days? Well, it maybe it's 160 now, but I remember last year for Anime NYC Tempest, I before I knew that Danny was coming down to Anime NYC, I was trying to see how much 3-day badges would be, and it was $275 last year. I don't know how much it is now because I honestly didn't look to see what the 3-day badges are going for on the secondhand market now. But it all I can say is it's sold out right now. So getting a 3-day badge for Anime NYC right now, it's sold out. Unless you want to buy the scalper prices. Which I don't know. Let's see. Where is it at? We could go look right now. Let's see. See, badges on sale now. 3-day 129 was a 3-day. Total cost 152, inclusive in New York City sales, postage, whatever. Sold out. You see this? Sold out. 3 days is sold out. Friday badges, Saturday badges, Sunday badges still available, but sold out for 3-day. Now you could buy Saturday, Friday, Sunday badges individually to go 3 days, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I don't think that they have the light badges available yet. Let me see. Here we go. The official Anime NYC badge exchange. I don't think it's open yet. Yeah, it's not even open yet to see how much it is like secondhand. Let me see. If I click on this, what does it give me? Yeah, 3-day badges sold out. The secondhand page is not open yet. So usually there would be this thing called Anime NYC Lite, I think it's LITE or LYTE, where you can buy secondhand 3-day badges. These are people that bought a 3-day badge and for whatever reason can't go, and they're selling their 3-day badges. Or it's bots that came in and bought the badges with the whole and full intent of reselling at a higher price. Those show up there too. It's an unfortunate thing, but it is a thing that actually happens. But right now, the secondhand market thing is not open as of yet. So yeah, it's really ridiculous, the pricing and the whole badge situation. It's just as bad trying to get to Anime NYC as it is trying to get into Comic-Con in New York or San Diego Comic-Con. It's ridiculous trying to get badges. So yeah, it's just annoying. It really is, to be honest with you. Tempest says, my panels for Thy Geekdom Con is cosplay for dolls and vinyl versus resin. Hot take, if Anime NYC only takes groups for presentations, we just apply together. we could. By the way, Thy Geekdom Con is $50 for early bird. Oh, the OG price for 3-day badges was $160. Yeah, it's pretty expensive if you want to go 3 days for this. Versus other things where like 3-day for like Otakon is like something like $80 or $85, something like that. 3 days for Thy Geekdom Con is about like $50 as long as you get the early bird special. So like Anime NYC is really ridiculously expensive. I understand it's an industry con, so that's why the price is kind of high. It's also in New York City, so the price is kind of high. But again, it's kind of ridiculous. But we'll see. I will more than likely be there at the very most Saturday, if anything, or at the very least, rather. Now, the next one doesn't really appear because the next one is Anime New Jersey ++. I wanted to go this year. I didn't go this year because I didn't know how it was going to be, and I didn't want to spend the money for a con that's like not really that good. But I've heard from other people that the very first year went really well. This was their first year in 2023 to do a con, Anime NJ++, and I heard it was pretty decent. So my plan, and the website is down right now. This is all you see when you go to their website. So my plan is when the website reopens for the 2024 season, I will try to apply to do panels here and attend this year. But that will round out the year, as this will be more than likely in December, as the very first one was in December. So maybe this con can fill that void for winter cons for people to attend within the, this tri-state area. But that's my schedule for 2024. It's not a super busy schedule like most years where I have like 10 conventions I'm going to. It's a lot smaller this year because I'm trying to save money to go to Japan. I don't want to go to too many places. But yeah, it's going to be Katsucon first, maybe Castle Point Anime, definitely Thy Geekdom Con, definitely Otakon, definitely Saturday for Anime NYC, and possibly Anime New Jersey++. That's what I'm leaning towards as of right now. Now, some potentials before we end today's episode. Some potentials. I'm still on the fence for this. So Volks USA is having a doll party in Los Angeles in September 2024. I highly doubt I will go. I really want to go. But if I want to go to Japan, this will eat up 85% of my savings for Japan. And I don't think it's worth it. It's not that Doll Party Los Angeles is bad. I've heard so many good stories about it and I really want to go. But just comparison-wise, like I can only afford one trip. And if I can only afford one trip, I'd rather go to Japan. I'm sorry, Volks USA. I just would rather to go to Japan because other than going to doll stuff in Japan, I mean, there is just Japan. Like going to see the sites and all the cool stuff that's there that are not doll related stuff as well. So while I am on the fence about Doll Party Los Angeles, I'm not 100% closing the door on it just yet. There's a possibility I may go, but it's a very, very, very small possibility. Now, here's another potential place I might go, and this really depends on money. And that's Doll Party in Japan. So I would like to go to Doll Party in Japan, in Tokyo, in the December. Obviously, it's not going to be Doll Party 50 because that just ended. I don't know what Doll Party it'll be, 51 or 52, by the time December comes. But if I have enough money to make the trip to Japan in 2024, I would like to go in December so I can go to Doll Party, whatever, 51 or 52. I would also hope and pray that if Belle is going to be released in 2024 in December, I will 100% make it an effort to go to Japan in 2024. But right now, it's on the fence because I don't really know if I will have enough money to go by the time December comes around, because saving up money is slow and tedious, and also there are emergency things come up. Like I was supposed to go last year and I had things that were more important that needed my attention, both mentally, emotionally, and financially. So I wasn't able to go to Japan last year. But I am starting my savings again to go back, and I'm hoping to go to a doll party in Japan when I can. But this is very tentative. It really depends on how my finances look when this comes around. But I would love to go to a Dolpa in Tokyo. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. And that's really it. That's my schedule for 2024 and potential places I may go in 2024. I'm hoping maybe I can meet some of you at one of these events, if not more, because I know some of you go to multiple events, but we'll see. Tempest says ZenkaiCon is nice and in Lancaster, PA. I'll look into that. If it's not too far of a drive, I might go to that. But yeah, send me the info, Tempest. I'll be interested. I haven't been to a ZenkaiCon. Moguri says, I'm only doing AX and Dopa LA this year. Planning on going to Japan next winter also, hopefully Idol or Dopa. Yeah, I would love to go to Idol too. As most of you know, my plans to go to Idol in 2019 were shattered by a Typhoon Higibis. I was very disappointed, but I'm glad to be alive, and I'm glad, people were safe. I heard that there was a death or two or something like that and a lot of people got hurt in Typhoon Hagibis, so that really sucks for those people. But I really wanted to go to Idol, so that didn't happen. But I'm hoping to go to a Dolpa in Tokyo or an Idol at some point. But I'm really saving to go to Doll Party. I think that's my next big trip to Japan, is to save up so I can go during a Doll Party and have that experience. But yeah, I think that's everything. So that's everything I'm looking forward to in 2024. Things that I'm looking forward to, places I'm going to be, places I want to be, depending on finances. And hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. So before we end, like always, and I don't know how much longer I'm keeping this because I don't know if you guys are getting bored of it or not, but I enjoy doing it. We are going to talk about Shizu-san's Anime Corner. So this week, I have one submission, as I should. Sometimes I have two, but I really need to keep it to one submission. But Shizu-san's Anime Corner this week, this one's a doozy. It's called The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds dumb. It sounds stupid for a premise of a show. And you guys know by now that I love isekais. And I know there's a lot of isekai trash going around. There's not many good ones. And more than not, people are very tired of isekais. I'm just a huge fan. I love isekais. I want to be isekai'd somewhere. I just hope if I do, it's not by death. I don't want to have to die for it. But isekais are cool, man. I love them. And this one is something that you would not expect. It's called The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. That makes you think that this is going to be an anime where some girl gets transported to a world and she becomes super powerfully, ridiculously strong and kills everything in sight. That is the case, but it's not what you think. The premise of this is obviously like an isekai. A young woman, or male, but in this case a young woman, gets transported to another world. I'm not going to say how the isekai happens. There are many different kinds of isekais. There's isekai by death, there's isekai by summoning, there's isekai by teleportation. There's all different kinds of isekai reasons. I'm not going to say how she got isekai because I don't want to spoil it, but this young woman gets isekai to another world. Here's the thing where I think you guys will like it. It is not your standard typical isekai where the main character goes and saves the world by fighting. This isekai is a reverse harem. This woman gets transported to another world as the savior of this world, as most isekais are. You're transported to become the savior. Not all, but a lot of isekais just end up being like that. And yes, she has a lot of superpowers, and yes, she is very strong, but that is not the focus of this show. There are 2 seasons out on the show right now, and the main focus, really, is this girl's experience in another world. Is there fighting involved? Yes, but very rarely. Is she there to kill monsters and save the world? Yes, that's the reason why she's there. But what does the show show you? Barely any of that. The entire show is about her chasing down hobbies, her meeting boys, and it's very much so a reverse harem because it's this girl and a whole bunch of beautifully gorgeous men. There's one other girl character in this show, and that's her best friend. And then there's another girl character who's her rival. But other than that, she is surrounded by men. Gorgeous, beautiful, young men of all different varieties. You got the pretty boy, you have the tall, dark, and handsome boy. You have all different kinds of boys that are vying for her attention. And it's a really cool show. It almost borders on slice of life / action / romance / comedy. It's a little bit of everything. And if that's what you're looking for, is something that's very casual to watch, that's not super serious, I think you're going to really like this one. It's a great watch. There's 2 seasons out. They're 12 episodes each season, so a total of 24 episodes. And from what I can tell, it's over. I finished both seasons, and I believe it is over. The way they ended it in season 2 kind of puts the book on it and closes the book. So I think it's done. I mean, they could always do a movie, but I don't see how they're going to continue the show if they were to make a season 3. It pretty much came to its conclusion. And I kind of like that. I don't like being left on the fence that, oh, maybe there's going to be another season, maybe there's going to be another season, and then it never comes, or it comes and it's terrible. This is one of those shows that has come, it has ended, and I am satisfied with the ending, and I don't think it needs any more. So if you want a good anime to watch, it's only 24 episodes. It's a great watch. It's very wholesome fun. The kids can watch it too. The fighting scenes has a little bit of blood in it, but it's not super bad. It's not super grotesque or over the top either. So I think it's safe to say that kids can watch it. My son watched it with me and my daughter. So it's a great show. It's both in Japanese, it's in English as well if you want to watch it dubbed. And the dub is good. It's not horrible. So whichever version you watch, it'll be a great watch. I'm a big fan of Sei, who's the main character, Sei. I would love to have a custom-made Sei doll now. I really love this show. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. It was one of those shows that I was like, this looks interesting. Let me play it in the background while I build some Gunpla. And that's exactly what I did. But then I stopped building my Gunpla after episode 1 and just purely focused on this because it was so good. So if you've glossed over this and didn't give it a try because you thought it sounded ridiculous, which I can agree, the title sounds ridiculous. And it sounds like it's going to be a stupid parody isekai, but it's actually really, really good. Please give this show a shot. Give it a chance. It's a great, great show. I'm glad to hear that Christina likes it, David Kane likes it, and hopefully more of you will actually give this show a shot now that we have advertised this towards you. But again, it's a great show. The Saint's magic powers omnipotent. Really, really good. Please watch. Will a doll company make a Saint's magic powers omnipotent doll? No, never. It'll never. It's not that popular where anybody would pick it up and make a doll about it. But it's good. It is good. Somi says, I haven't heard of this anime, but I'll look it up later. Definitely look it up, Somi. If you don't like it, then I owe you lunch. I don't know how I'm going to get you lunch, but I owe you lunch then. David Kane says, The Apothecary Diaries is really good. Oh, that is on my queue to watch. So if you're saying it's good, I will definitely put it up on the queue and move it up a few notches to watch, because that's one I was very interested in as well. But yeah, Saint's magic power is omnipotent. Very good show. Very awesome. But that's everything. That's everything for today's show. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that these recap or review episodes of theoreticals and things like that is not the most popular episodes that I do. A lot of people like the guest episodes or the hot topic episodes, but it's something that I like doing and something I'm excited to talk about what to look forward to for the year and things like that, or recaps at the end of the year. Those are things I really like to do, and I will continue to do them. But I'm glad that you guys hang out with me today and hopefully enjoyed today's episode and found it somewhat informative. And I think that's it. I have plans to have guests coming on sometime in the future. The only problem is that I've been sick, as I said before, and I haven't had a chance to reach out to my guests to confirm solid dates. So I don't know when the guests are coming, but I already have 2 topics in mind with 2 separate guests. I just haven't reached out to them yet to solidify the dates, but the topics that are coming up are going to be fun topics. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I just need to nail down the dates with them. But that's it. Thank you everybody for coming for today's episode. As always, I am your host, Shizu-san, and my beautiful assistant with me today is the very lovely Asuna Yuki. So thanks everybody for coming. Please hit that like button if you liked today's episode. Hit that share button, share it with your friends if you feel like they need to see this. Subscribe to me if you haven't subscribed already. And I will see you guys next week for the Doll Symposium. So take care, everyone. Before I go, shout outs. Thank you, Tempest Strife. Thank you, Moguri. Thank you, David Keynes. Thank you, Christina Kowald. Thank you, Somi. Thank you, Batman Jackson. Did I miss anybody? Thank you, PNB Sakura. Thank you, Jay Louisa, for coming in. Who else was here for today's stream? Lummy Lum. Thank you, Lummy Lum, for coming into the stream today. Dusk's Log On. Thank you for telling me I sound like a toad singing on the song from Titanic. Anybody else? Am I missing anybody for today's episode? I want to make sure I give a shout out to everybody. I think that's everybody. Yeah, it looks like everybody. So thank you everybody for coming. I really enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next Friday in the next episode of Doll Symposium. Bye.
Dear Marie, I hope you got somewhere to be. I've been floating out in space. I thought I'd write to you in case you felt alone, just like me, with this anxiety. Is it all a simulation? Ones and zeros in an empty basement. I wish I could be